have the time and the moment to spend with my kids to teach them how to sew, which is a very complex thing. It is such a powerful movement. And so I want to bring up Abby Small, who is the EVP and GM of the Simplicity Creative Group. She has an amazing maker background. So we're going So Abby, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about everything about being a maker.
Okay. My name is Abby Small. I'm the EVP GM of Simplicity Creative Group, and we are thrilled to be partnering with Cricut today on this innovative new technology. Walking in that room and seeing everybody so excited about all the different things that Cricut's going to bring to sewing just made me so happy, because I have grown up in sewing. Simplicity was my first job. I've been here for 35 years. I wrote one resume in my life, and I've stayed there forever. But even closer to me is the fact that my mother was a home ec teacher. I've been sewing forever. My mother taught for 45 years. My grandmother was a knitter and crocheter. Simplicity Creative Group is a group of many brands, many of them that you probably don't even realize. EK Success is part of the Simplicity Creative Group. I know a lot of you probably buy their paper. Boy knitting and crochet hooks, Wrights tapes, all are part of the Simplicity brand. But I'm really here to talk to you about patterns. And what I'm really going to try to talk to you about is the history of patterns and why they're so important in everybody's lives. And the majority of the people in this room probably have a memory of something that was sewn for them made from a Simplicity pattern, a prom dress, a special moment that somebody in your family made you something, and most people learn to sew with Simplicity. Simplicity is celebrating its 90th anniversary this year, so it's quite ironic that it'll be tied to such an innovative new program with technology with a brand that's been around for over 90 years. And it was started by James J. Shapiro in 1927 in December. And his idea was to bring economical patterns to women to sew at home. His wife, on the other hand, believed it was really important that we educate women on how to sew. So Simplicity has always been the brand you learn to sew with. During the Great Depression, sewing became even more and more popular because people were going to work, and it was an economical way for people to make their own clothes. What's happened, though, ironically, in the year 2017, is what's coming back in style is vintage. Any vintage pattern that we have that's available, you'll see them on Etsy or eBay. We're also putting them in our line continuously because they're so desirable. And just recently, I think last week, we saw that there was a wiki site that started with over 83,000 pattern images for people to start looking at and enjoying and downloading. Great ways for you to use your Cricut. You could download some of these great pattern images and put them onto t-shirts. During the 50s, we had the American Dream. Women came back into the home, 4-H. Everybody was part of the 4-H. My mother actually won the 4-H fashion review and was on the Today Show. So 4-H was a big part of what people were sewing, and making much more elaborate, and the construction was much more elaborate. But then we get into the age of individuality, and we go into the 60s and 70s. And what happened during that time period? Think about it. People were making maxi dresses and mini dresses. We were wearing hot pants and we were wearing bell bottoms. Kiana, double knit. Everybody was sewing. And so during that time, it gave people the ability to use their own individuality and wear what they felt comfortable in. And during the 80s, what happened, which I was talking to some of the bloggers before, and I was saying what happened during the 80s is that sewing became a way for you to make a living. So all these craft fairs, if we all remember in the 80s, all the craft fairs were popping up everywhere, and people were sewing to make a living. And sewing changed. Where we used to be a totally fashion-driven industry, it really became more of a craft-driven industry. And now, pretty much at Simplicity, I would say 50% of our pattern sales come from both crafts and home decorating, as well as from fashion. And this is my favorite slide. I never get through it. But what this slide is really supposed to represent is all the bloggers out there and all the new ways people are learning how to do things. And you know what? Cricut is part of that. This will definitely, and Simplicity's vision, bring in a new customer for us that is happy to get her technology and download her pattern into her machine and feels that the paper is going to be too much of a hassle for her. So where do we see the future of this going? Let's talk about cosplay, and we talk about men's sewing, and we talk about the bloggers and how they affect everything with Mimi G and how they're creating a whole new consumer base. You know what? We're seeing the 10-year-old coming back to sewing, and she's coming back very strong. She wants to be involved in it. You know what? When I went in there and saw that machine, everybody wants to talk about the cutting. Most of the sewers in here will tell you the most amazing thing about that machine is the marking. When they brought that to New York, they showed us that machine, and we got to see that machine cut out the little notches and put the little dots with the pen. We were like, oh my God, this is great! This is the worst part of the job. So as we move forward, this is just the beginning for Simplicity and Cricut. We have so many more ideas. Just talking to the women out in the other room, we were like, we're going to go further and further with this whole idea of ways that we can work with the Cricut. And Ashish and I, we're the hot new couple of the craft.
Some partnerships are made in heaven. This really so great. You know, we've learned so much from them. We brought in the tools, the technology, and they brought in the content, the expertise, and it's been delightful. And I think the whole world of the sewing industry is going to see the benefits of this partnership. Thank you.
You guys, honestly, that was magical to me. I mean, we know how to cut. Like, Cricut's good at cutting, but like, sewing? It's not good at sewing! It's so awesome. All right, so I told you I was going to bring up a few people who have used this machine. So I'm going to start with an amazing woman named Deanna Wall, and she's going to come up. She truly, truly inspires me. This is one of the kindest people I think I've ever met in my life. And if you've met lots of Cricut people, I've had a lot of you say Cricut people are very kind, and they totally are. And Deanna, come on up. This woman, you guys, see all your seats you're sitting on? She didn't know.
Wow.
She designed the pattern for them from scratch. That was like a miracle
cool is we get to play with this Cricut Maker machine. So isn't that the best name ever? But remember, Maker's gonna make? Yes, he was. And aren't you guys excited about this? I am. I thought, when I heard this at the very beginning, which was a couple months ago, they told me about the machine, and I was just like, that's not possible. That's just not possible. That's not possible. And I actually challenged the person that was sharing it with me after I signed a legal document, you know? And I was like, that's not possible. And then I saw it, and I saw that gear with the rotary cutter, because for me, being a fabric lover, I mean, I have cut so much. I don't know about you guys, but I've cut, and I've rotary cut, and I can't even tell you how much I have cut in my lifetime. I started sewing as a child, and then I started quilting when I was 17 years of age. And I've just been quilting nonstop and having a really good time. By the way, my name is Deanna Wall, and I'm with Stitches Quilting is what I'm with. So I have a quilt store, and I've had it since 2002. It's been online since 2009. And now I blog and I do lots of other things and try to teach other people how to quilt. And it's been really, really a lot of fun. So, but I want to show you guys a couple things. Don't you sit there and you sit there and you make something, and you're kind of like, oh, you know, you're going at it, and then you make it, and then you're kind of leaning back, and you're like, wow, that looks kind of good, you know? And then you start feeling good about yourself, and you start, you know, you're actually creating endorphins to make yourself feel better, and you're like, wow, that's awesome. And then you're going to maybe keep it for yourself, which is awesome to make something for yourself, right? But then you might be gifting it to somebody, and that's going to create more feel-good out there. And there's just this whole cycle of sharing, and this whole cycle of everything that we can do to make other people feel better, and to make this world just a better place, because sometimes it can get hard. Don't you agree? I mean, there's just some challenges out there, and I don't know about you guys, but I need things to feel good. What about you? Get that good feeling and those endorphins going, and then when we're feeling good, our kids feel good, our spouse might feel good, other people will feel good, maybe in our family, and we can share it and we can spread it all around. So I am so grateful that Cricut years ago, and I mean their engineers and the team that created this and made this, I mean, are you just blown away? I mean, it is phenomenal, and the fact that they kept it as a secret too. It's just beyond phenomenal. So anyways, so there's just a whole cycle that we're working with. Well, I have to say that as a quilter, let me go ahead and go to another slide. I do sew too, but here's a picture of me with a bunch of patterns. And I don't know if you guys have actually sewn with some patterns and use some of the paper patterns, and you kind of get all mucked up in it, and you're almost like, holy crud! Like, this won't even fit back into that little envelope, you know? Or you cut out all these pieces, and really, it's fun, it's so rewarding, but sometimes they can tear and rip, and, you know, anyways, it's a process. The Cricut machine, I actually had a Cricut machine for quite a little while now, and I've been the maker, and I have been actually sewing things to get ready for this conference. I have made so many cuts of fabric, and I can tell you, it is phenomenal. I mean, it is what you want it to be. And if it isn't what you want it to be, come follow me, and I will have tons of tutorials, and I'll have tons of things out there to kind of help you through that growing process, I promise. If you want to apply this in a sewing way, and I'm sure there will be tons of other people out there too. But look at this, look at how it cut out the entire little pattern. This is a simplicity pattern. They're all built in there, you guys. You don't have to go buy one at the store, but they're built in, cuts it all out, and it marks the different pieces. This one doesn't have the stitching lines on it, though. And it makes things. Okay, but remember, I'm a quilter. This is a gift I gave my grandma. It's the most corniest picture ever. Look at my eyeballs. Honestly. But I'm looking at my grandma. Can you see the pleasure in my face? I mean, honestly. Okay, so you talk about this endorphin thing. It makes you feel better, but as you're gifting something, it makes other people feel good too. That's my son. Do you see my son being involved in this? And he knows how I'm feeling, how excited I am, and it's a down to some things. So you can use scrappy cuts. All right, this was for, some more quilt squares that I cut for some quilt blocks. And then here is a whole bunch that you guys are gonna have a chance to make in a little bit. So anyways, there's some really, I guess we can go back, but there's some really great things out there. I just want you to know that it's phenomenal, and the power of a quilt, the power of sewing is beyond phenomenal. So here's some of the quilt blocks. I'm sorry. Here's some of the quilt blocks. I know. You guys, this was the quilt that I made for my grandma. I actually made this in maybe about 12 hours.
Wow.
And then gave it to her when she passed away. I got it back, and then I actually, because I really went fast on quilting it with my domestic sewing machine, and then I unpicked it all, and then I re-quilted it and then hung it dry. So I get to keep this to remember her. So we make things for so many different occasions. All right?
I'm gonna out her. You guys, she cried, and then she made me cry because I'm like, I love it! So I love it. So the next person, come on up, Miss Cam. So this is Cam Dana. She is from Over the Big Moon. I'm gonna let her tell a little bit about herself and about her.
They changed the picture on me. I'm wearing the same sweater now.
It was matching effect.
The picture was up on
So you can identify her later.
That was the picture that they had chosen for me. It's all right. I really like this one. I get cold really easy, so I always have a layer on me. So, okay, I don't really have anything. Can I just set this down?
Sure.
I feel like it will distract me. Sorry.
Perfect.
Okay, so when they asked me to come up and talk about my experience with Cricut and in the blogging world and crafting and making, I kind of had a laugh initially because my journey started back in 2011. That's when I started my blog, Over the Big Moon. And I was just a new mom. I was 2 years deep into kids, and I was kind of lost. I was missing Pam. I was like, where did Pam go? All I hear all day is Mom, and can you get me this, and can you get me that? And I was walking, probably speed walking. I was kind of on a speed walking kick at this moment in my life. And I was with my friend, and I'm like, we should start a blog where we can just like share everything we're doing and the way we're organizing our playrooms and just whatever. And she was like, okay, let's do it. And so it kind of birthed. And Over the Big Moon birthed as a way for me to feel good about myself and for a way for me to have a creative outlet. Fast forward a few years, and my blog partner kind of decided that she didn't want to do it anymore, and so I went through the process of buying her out. And we were doing projects like simple DIYs, but I really like practical projects, so I'm making lots of chore charts and lots of printables and adding some recipes in there and a little bit of home decor. But if you would have asked me at that moment, like, are you a craft blog? I would have been like, oh no, I don't craft. Like, I'm not a craft blogger. Don't even put that word with me. It has no connection, nor does it have any room in my life. Like, no, I'm not creative. But then when I bought out my blog partner, that was kind of her section of blogging. And so I was really just trying to define what I wanted my new blog, which is now just mine, to be. And so I went through the different categories of what my readers liked and was evaluating, and I was like, oh crap, like I gotta learn how to craft. Because I have craft followers, that was like Lisa's thing, and that's not mine. So I got my Cricut out and I was like, okay, I'm gonna become a crafter. And within a day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just crafted all day long. Like, this machine made me a crafter, you guys. I have ideas, but I couldn't execute them. And that is what I love about the Cricut products. The Cricut Maker just takes it another place, but I'll get there in a minute. I can do anything that I want with this machine, and that is just what I love about it. It empowers me. I have loved playing around with the Cricut Maker, and I'm really, really excited about it. The possibilities are completely endless. I have been able to cut materials that are so thick and just deep, and because I'm more, I like to do, like I said, practical projects, and I love to make I love to make signs, especially for my porch. So if you go to my blog, most of my signs are for my porch. But up to this point, have just been using the vinyl to create stencils or maybe even just apply directly to my boards. And now I'm going to be able to create three-dimensional items as in balsa wood and add some dimension to my boards, and or my signs, and I'm just so excited about it. I just want to say I'm so humbled and grateful to be invited to this. I don't know if you guys felt what I felt during the announcement. I already knew about the maker, you guys, but I cried 4 times. I mean, I cried at my HC commercial, so I don't know if that gives me a lot of credit, but I just love the people. When Ashish was talking, I'm just bawling because I just feel so much love and just connection to all of you and what we do and what power this world and the crafting the Cricut maker is going to give us to share with the world. I just feel so much love from all of you, and I just want to say I'm so grateful. You know, we're from all over the world, and we're not all crafters, and we're not all sewers, and we're not all quilters, but we are all makers, you guys, and I'm just so excited to be here, so thank you.
She's adorable too. Adorable.
Tiffany so much. When I met her, I was like, can we be sisters? And I already have 3, so I mean.
I have 9, so that's cool.
High
I
five.
only have 4.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome. Yeah, Hannah and I stayed at the first night till 2 in the morning, which in mom time is like 5 days. We laughed the whole time, so it was cool. All right, this is a special moment. I'm gonna bring up Mr. Tanner Bell. His experience with the Cricut Maker, and then we're gonna lead you guys in the make and take. It might be a little interesting. No, I'm just kidding. It'll be good. It'll be great. No, so Tanner we met him through his YouTube channel because he's the YouTuber, which is awesome. But he's also like expanded now, and he is this digital media production guy, and I'm gonna let him introduce you. He has an incredibly interesting story, which talks a lot about next generation crafting, which is awesome.
Oh my gosh, this is kind of the funniest thing ever. Did I ever think I would be at a Cricut event in Salt Lake City? But a lot of people are probably wondering why an 18-year-old male is standing here. Like, you probably don't fit your demo. But I actually have a crazy story with Cricut. Thanks to Cricut, I was actually able to join the online community of creating content. So let's backtrack about to 2010. I was in the 5th grade. And I was in the 5th grade, guys. Here's 5th grade Tanner. Here's 5th grade Tanner. I was just, living life in 5th grade. I don't know what I did in the weekends, but I got with my mama a lot. But here I am, 5th grade, and a girl in my class started selling bookmarks. She was customizing the paper, she was customizing the names, and everyone was buying them. Like, paying good 5th grade money, like $3 to $5 a bookmark. It was crazy. So I'm like, how are you doing it? I was like, so she's like, my grandma has this thing called a Cricut, and my teacher was there. She's like, Tanner, this Cricut, you would love it. I was like, what are we gonna do with a bug? What is this bug thing to do? I don't know. I'm 5th grade, I don't know what a Cricut is. She's like, okay, Tanner, you need to go home right now. Go home, look it up on HSN. And I was like, what's HSN? She said, the Home Shopping Network. And I was like, what's that? And it's like, it's a channel that you can buy stuff off the TV. And I'm like, okay, I'm feeling it. So I went online, and as soon as I got home, I was supposed to be studying spelling words. I remember this day like it was yesterday. And instead of studying my spelling words, I was looking at this product. And I was looking and watching the video on it, and I called my mom. Now, at this time was the perfect time to talk her into getting me something good. Because we had just got my mom's first house, and she was remodeling our basement for me as my man cave. All my buddies, she was going to throw me and my buddies down there to hang out. And I wanted a projector. I wanted a projector to be able to watch movies, be really cool, right? She didn't want it. She likes the TV. It makes her sick watching it, staring at it. I don't know her excuses. So I call her at work, and I'm like, Mom, if you'll give me this Cricut, I'll leave you alone about the projector. She's like, okay, how much is it? Okay, I tell her the bundle at HSN. She's like, okay, great, you'll mess with it for 2 weeks, I'll return it. All done in the world of Cricut. So, back in 2010, believe it or not, 2-day shipping was not a thing. It was more like 2 to 3 week shipping. Very upsetting. But in those 2 to 3 weeks, I was like, okay, I need to learn everything I can about this machine. I want to understand it. I want to be able to use it because I gotta sell these bookmarks. Don't forget. So I'm getting it to compete. So I logged on to YouTube, and back in 2010, it was not something that anyone in my class, like maybe 2 people,